but it's kind of logical. We go down talk about what we can provide you, and now we're going to tell you how to put it on your shelf, like almost literally. So first, I'd like to go through some terms because we're kind of changing pace a little bit here. So the storeroom is basically the location for your mechanical and electrical parts that you put in the plant to upkeep it. Storeroom Logics is the software we use for inventory control. It can help you in various ways. I'll go through how it works. VMI is vendor management inventory. Basically, we kind of take care of some of your inventory. CMI is you guys taking care of it. Some more terms. We got a high value preventative maintenance purchase. This is this is something you bought. It's very expensive, and then you can't return it. Dynamic reallocation of an asset is you stole a part off of one machine and you put it on another to get it working. I deal with this a lot, the static endurance tests. You put it on a shelf and then you forget about it. I'm sure I've dealt with Brave extrapolation, which you're just taking wild guesses. Undisclosed allocation lease program. Parts keep going missing for various reasons. All these things we're actually going to kind of talk about and how to solve these problems. So we're going to start with like a case study. This is a small storeroom. They were having various issues at this case study, and as you can see here, it's kind of a mess. The problems they were dealing with is they had electrical parts in 3 different locations all around the factory. They had no idea what was there. They had locations for everything, but not everybody knew where it was or exactly what they had. They had a PMA, Inventory Plus, and they had the parts sitting right next to the existing, like the same parts. One they owned, one was an Inventory Plus part, and their technicians would be grabbing the wrong part. And then the tool room, as you can see here, was kind of mixed up with some of their electrical MRO, and it just kind of, nobody knew what the room was for, so it just kind of got turned into a catch-all, just turned into a mess. So we'll be coming back to this, and we're going to kind of go through the steps of how to fix this, but different customers have different problems, and so this is going to go through some of the things I see. One is like a new factory where you're starting with nothing, or you're just adding something and you just got to start from scratch. Next is messy with no organization or knowledge, just kind of, it's the room that just has a bunch of stuff and you don't know what's in there. You got to hunt all the time. Then you got the organized chaos. Usually you got that one old guy that knows where everything is, but then all the new guys don't know, and they always have to go to him to find what they need. Then, just like our case study, there's multiple locations. Lose a lot of time hunting from room to room. And then you can have a pretty good storeroom, but you may not know what you have, or you don't have a program to upkeep it and know exactly what you have, where it is. Maybe your storeroom is the way you want it, but you need a little bit of help with it. And so maybe a VMI or a little automation could help you kind of make it go faster. And then a lot of people have security issues. Parts walk away. Maybe it's perfectly fine. Maybe people are actually, putting them on eBay. We've seen both. And you just need to lock some people out, keep the right people in. So the 3 main sections I deal with are hardware, organization, and then the data and software. That you can kind of throw automation into that too. We'll start with hardware. It's nice and easy. It's very tangible, very easy to conceptualize. The problems it solves is clutter, space, combining locations, security, safety hazards, and then difficulty in knowing where stuff is. So here's some solutions that usually help, we can help you with too. Shelves, the drawer systems, you can combine them, big old pallet racks, fencing, lockers, the electronic lockers, we can help with that. Weighted shelves, if any of y'all have a VLM, a vertical lift module, one of those big tall things that holds a bunch of parts. It's when you don't have enough floor space, but you got a lot of ceiling space. And then RFID, we have a system to, I'll talk about this in a little bit too, but just RFID every single part and put up a little kiosk as you walk through it. Organization, also very important. but it depends on each customer, and certainly like the storeroom manager or like your head of maintenance, because it's a mindset thing. So some people like it separated, all like the organization of all their parts to be separated by type, or separated by machine or vendor, or even like OEM manufacturer. There's no wrong answers here. This is just a mindset. It's the way you guys think. Ergonomics can work from different room to different room. So room location, the room setup. Some people like their parts, the fastest moving ones, closest to the door. But it really, again, it comes down to what makes sense for you guys. The process, just those are the base mental process of organization and how going forward with it. Is the first thing you want to do is obsolete parts, which the IBE can really help with that. And then move everything all at once. So if you're creating a new storeroom or moving it all, the best way to do it is to move it all at once. You don't want to take your time and move it. Things will get lost in the process. Then you want to train your people and limit the access to the room. So one big thing is with the training and limiting access, you create consistent habits. And that is where your real ROI comes from, is making sure that your people are using it and using it correctly. And then after you get that moving, you cycle count. You make sure you got everything you got every quarter or so. And then you just upkeep it. Just a little bit of upkeep at a time goes a long way, and it won't turn back into that chaos. Then it comes down to data. Now, data can be a challenge. Sometimes this is all some customers need, is just they don't know what they have. They need to know what they have, and they just, 3,000 parts just need to be counted or figured out what they have. So it's important to know what to do with your data, too. One thing to do with it is to use storeroom logics. Storeroom logics is the software we use for our VMIs, for helping customers automate their storerooms, to help them understand what they have and what they don't have and how to order it, all that kind of stuff. The way storeroom logics works is you can use a checkout system. It kind of just works like your storeroom is Amazon. Your technicians, your storeroom manager can come in and check out certain items. It takes it out of your on-hand inventory. Once it hits a certain level, a minimum, it'll just automatically order it, usually from us, but you can set it up to have different vendors. Just send them out an email and say, hey, we need this now, we're out. VMI, that's when we just have a set amount of parts that the vendor comes in and controls. It's something customers use when they don't want to think about it anymore. They just want their parts there, make sure they're there. The customer managed inventory is a lot like the VMI, but you guys are paying attention to it, but we hook it up to the storeroom logic process so that it's still kind of automated. You control it, but it still goes automatically to the vendor. Storeroom Logics also has some reports in it. So when you do the checkout system, you have a pretty itemized look of your processes. So in this, these are some transaction reports. You can watch your parts come and go as you order them, and they are received into your storeroom, and or as they check them out. As you check them out, you can actually attach them to certain job numbers. They call them allocation codes, but if you want to attach them to a machine or anything like that, that's possible. And then you can see them in the report. And then there's a VMI analysis. This is a basic overlook of what your storeroom is, and this kind of is similar to the IBE, to where you have the parts you're using, the parts you're kind of using, the parts you're not using. So this is moving, it hits slow when you've not used it for 4 months, and then frozen at 1 year. So you kind of get an idea, and then you can see here with the life cycle, these will turn red when our ERP says that it no longer is in rotation. We also have smart hardware you can use in various ways. I have another presentation about that too. Sorry, I kind of blew through all this, but let's go back to our case study. Remember that's our mess there. And so what we did for them is we cleaned out that one big room, and then we installed new shelving. Everything came out, and we just lined the walls with shelving and then added more. Then we took all the parts from all 3 locations, installed them in all at the same time, and organized them by type. That was the way they wanted it. It made sense to them. Then we went through and identified every single part, all the location, how many they had, and then stuck it into storeroom logics. They use a kiosk, which is just a laptop, and that's how they check out all their parts, is just a laptop at the front of the door. They also installed some electronic lockers to solve that inventory plus problem. And you can see that in the final product here. So everything got cleaned up, everything is organized and smooth looking. Over here you can see the lockers. This is the PMA, the inventory plus parts, and these are some of the exact same parts sitting right next to it. So these have been put behind some sort of mental barrier, a physical barrier that stops the wrong guys from getting it. They limited the access to only a few of the high-level guys. And so what has happened there, that the actual result of that is they haven't used a PMA product in about a year because they have been using the parts that they already had, and they haven't been accidentally grabbing the wrong parts and causing them. So far it's already saved them $10,000 or $20,000 just from not grabbing the inventory plus part. So the stuff that we can do this just for us. We can do a storeroom makeover. Start from scratch, build your hardware, organize it, pull all the data, take it all down, and put it into the system. It doesn't matter what your system is. Or we can do any part of these individually. So if you guys have a good storeroom, you like what it is, but you just need a cycle count, or you've got a new CMMS and you want your whole storeroom just to take all the data down so you can put it into that, we can do that. But we also have other services. We can do the VMI for anything we sell. We have the inventory plus lockers. We can also combine the VMI with the asset lockers so that we can put all your MRO inside some lockers. I've seen that being used well for small items that you want to keep track of, but people keep grabbing them without telling the storeroom attendant that they're using them. They're not like stealing them, they're just using them without telling anybody, and then they run out and nobody knows. So it helps automate the system. And that's all run through storeroom logics. We can talk about training and installation, everything on that. All right, just a quick run through of this. With the storeroom logics system, that's basically what we use. We use the lockers. That is one of our best products. We've sold quite a few. We've used them with MRO. Again, it creates that mental barrier. It stops people from just grabbing stuff and walking away. Makes them check it out, and so you know how much you have at all times. You can use them with the Inventory Plus. It integrates with that. So what's good about that is when you have the Inventory Plus with a locker, is not only are only the right people grabbing it, but you know exactly when that part was taken out. That creates a timestamp for warranty, and it automatically comes back to us so that we know to start getting the process going forward to replace that part. And then we can use it for tools and for other assets and for tracking. So you put some your nice big Makita tool up in there, and you don't want that walking away. So somebody checks it out, and Billy has it, and he checked it out at 12 something a.m. and now where'd he go? So at least know who to track down. And then just the expensive parts. You just want to put them behind security. That's just one of the main uses too, is you have a $10,000 part, it fits in a locker, you don't want it walking away. That's it. There's other options. You go small. These are electronic drawers. And so sensors, those types of things, when you have a bunch of them, you want to hide them, you want to put a security level behind it, these are really good for that. It'll open the whole drawer, but again, you're not getting random people walking in and just grabbing your electronics. Again, these are the VLMs. These guys can knock your floor space. It's usually by a factor of 10. So it's pretty easy to take like 1,000 square feet and turn it into 100 square feet or even less. These things can hold a couple thousand parts if you really think about it. And they're modular too. So you can see there's like chunks here. You can just continue to add chunks or take them away. Then the RFID, I mentioned this earlier. We have a customer that uses the RFID and we program it here. So we have like all these stickers that have the RFID on them. We slap them on the box. We take that ID, attach it into the storeroom logic system, send it to them, the part. They receive it. They use the data logic gun, received, put it on the shelf. Now, when the technician wants the part, all he does is walks in, grabs a part, he walks past this tower here, and it takes it out of the inventory. Hits that minimum, automatically orders more, process repeats. Pretty cool system. You get the flow going, it works wonderfully.